Hey guys, it's Kara here. Welcome back to my channel for another speed build. Um, Before I get into my fun fact, I guess a little bit more about this build. It is a cafe. It's meant to be like a trendy, modern, fun, cool cafe, but the little bit more important part here is this is the second time, yes, two, hear that, second, two times, that I had to record this voiceover because the first time I forgot to switch over the input device. So it was just picking up my laptop's built-in mic instead of my actual mic. So I went to play it and I was like, good grief, that sounds awful. So hopefully this one sounds a little bit better. Fingers crossed, y'all. But yeah, so back to the build. Just had to blow some steam, okay? Back to the build though. It is a cafe. I like kind of accidentally, I guess, started this whole rebuild Del Sol Valley thing because another build that I did, which you'll see eventually on my channel, um, was also in Del Sol, which I don't know if you can tell or not, but this is in Del Sol Valley. So I've done two in this little downtown area, and I might as well finish what I started, right? And this is a cafe, as I already said. The next build is a restaurant, actually. So diversifying what we got. I feel like cafes are a really great venue in Sims 4 for Sims to do because a bar is a little extra sometimes, especially if it's like early in the day. And restaurants sometimes take a long time. So a cafe is a good in between. You can get a little drink, a little snack, and it just takes like whatever, like 10 sim minutes to get it. And you just sit down and do your thing. Um, and I felt like the vision I had for this cafe fit perfectly in Del Sol Valley. The inspiration photos I found online, because anytime I want to do a build, I always look for inspiration. And the one I found was actually a cafe that was in Los Angeles, I believe. So, which is very, Del Sol is pretty much LA. So it felt fitting. Um, just working on the exterior here, nothing too exciting. The little backstory I created in my head, and I actually came up with this when I was doing my last voiceover. Can you tell I'm a little salty? And anyways, it's like two buildings that got meshed together. Like, maybe it was two warehouses or something, and then someone bought them and converted them into this nice, trendy little coffee shop spot. I also really wanted to make a fire escape work, as you could see there, maybe, and it couldn't work. I later found a decorative one within the new Buy-to-Bug items that EA gave us in a patch. So, alas, it did not make it into this build, but hopefully in the future it can sneak into one of my builds because little details like that make my world go round. I just think it's so much fun to make a build feel more realistic or like it could actually exist in the world or in our world, just something where you could see yourself going. I think that is always really fun and a fun detail to include in builds. Um, I'm trying to like think of like, oh, did I already say that or did I say it in my last voiceover? I don't know. This is fun, guys. Oh, a cool story I told in my last voiceover, which I'm still very excited about it. So I'm gonna say it again. So like last weekend or the weekend before that, my boyfriend and I took a little one night little weekend trip to San Antonio because he had some friends out there that we were gonna stay with for free. And he also wanted to, he's never seen the Alamo, which like is pretty wild. It's kind of like a rite of passage if you live in Texas. Um, and he'd never seen it before, so he went to go see that and do some like kind of Texas history stuff and just make it a fun, quick little trip. But so we did all that during the day, and then we went and stayed at their house that night, and we played this game. And this game is called Settlers of Catan, which is like from the 90s. I think it came out like the year I was born or the year after I was born or something. But it's fun, so fun. Like I'm obsessed with it. We played 3 times that weekend that we were there with his friends, and then we found out that our neighbors back home who are our age, they play as well. And so we're actually having them over tonight to play this game. And they're like, this is the first time we've ever like actually hung out. Like we've talked to them a lot before, but our first time actually hanging out with them. She moved in like January or so. So like 6 months living next door to each other. And we're finally hanging out. And what is bringing us together? is a game called Settlers of Catan, which is like our new fave thing. And I'm pretty excited. So let me know if you've ever played that game or if you think it's fun or anything. But I'm kind of like low-key obsessed with it right now. It's a strategy game, and you like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's just a strategy game. And it's kind of, something I said in my last voiceover too was I'm at like two ends of the spectrum. I either love like The Sims, which is very peaceful and relaxing, and it's a creative outlet, and you can do whatever you want with it, or like intense, sit down at a table for 4 hours making crazy strategies, that type of game. Like, those are the two games that I love. Anything in between, like, I might enjoy it, but those two things, man, those get me. And so I'm pretty excited for that. I think it'll be a blast to play that. And, just having people over is always fun, forces you to clean the house, right? Or like burning candles, spraying Febreze. Gotta impress the guests and be a good hostess, right? So that'll be fun. And totally not even talking about the build anymore, but look at those cool lights. Outdoor lighting is always good. That is one of those things that for the longest time, I never paid attention to outdoor lighting because I was like, oh, it doesn't matter, whatever. And then I realized how much of a difference nice outdoor lighting can make in a house. Ooh, also, real quick, I tried to make a faux bike rack because I could have sworn we had an object that looked like a little loop and that you could kind of use as like a fake bike rack, but I couldn't find it. So I tried to make my own and it didn't work, and I'm still really upset about it because I love being able to do stuff like that and like repurpose in-game objects and add those really realistic little details that you would find in a real coffee shop. I also don't remember what I was even talking about, but I thought of another thing to say. Speaking of repurposing in-game objects, I've started doing a build that was inspired by The Sims Supply, James Turner. Every month he does like a show me your builds kind of thing. So people upload builds, do whatever hashtag he tells them, and he goes through, picks some of his favorites, and showcases them on his channel. And I love watching those. I love finding cool builds from the gallery and whatnot. And his next month's challenge is going to be a base game only build, which is one of those things that if you have all the packs or almost all the packs, you kind of take for granted, like, oh, just the base game. But there are so many people out there who that's all they have, and they still want to have cool lots and cool houses too. And I feel like being so limited to just those base game items will be a fun challenge to try and repurpose them in new and exciting ways. And so I'm working on that build currently, and I'm trying to do a family home because that's something that, most people, actually, I don't think it's a family home. I think it's just going to be like a bougie, like one bed modern mansion. But yeah, I wanted to do a house because houses, everyone will use houses. And I wanted to make it modern because I feel like a modern build is really hard to pull off with base game items. And I'm a little bit of a masochist sometimes. So we'll see how it turns out. I think I only have like the layout done and I've started the furnishing. So maybe that'll be up on the channel next weekend. I don't know. We'll see how everything else goes. I'm also like kind of trying to figure out my upload schedule because I definitely want to do at least 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which I did this past week and the week before. And I had this idea to do two episodes of my Let's Play and then one build on Friday. And I did that last week and it worked great. But then this week I got really excited about my Let's Play, my Upgrowth Challenge. Check that out if you haven't. Shameless plug, but it's fun. And I got really excited playing that, and I made an extra video, and so I was like, oh, I'll just upload it. It's fine, right? So I don't know. I messed up my own schedule after just 1 week, but classic rebel archetype, 4 tendencies, Gretchen Rubin. If you're familiar, if not, Google it. But I'm a rebel, which means I don't know. I can't even stick to my own rules, basically. So back to the drawing board on that one, trying to figure out a good schedule. And I have like 3 build videos that I need to upload, so I don't know. I'm a little bit of a mess when it comes to organization, but it's fine. Look at all that cute greenery in my cafe. Who doesn't love a good plant on their table? Real plants only here, thank you. One of my best friends is like crazy plant lady type, and she literally yelled at me when I told her I wanted to get a fake plant for my house. She was like, what? why would you do that? That's so gross and ugly. And she just went off. She told me she's going to take me to the nursery by her house and help me pick out a good, easy to take care of plant. So I might still buy a fake plant and just not tell her, but we'll see about that. Because I love the idea of plants, but having to water them, I don't know. It's a whole thing. I can barely give myself enough water on the day to day. I don't know if I trust myself to give a plant enough water on the day to day. So here I am working on the bathroom. Very exciting. Most exciting room in the building. So I'm definitely going to talk it up. I made them mirror images of one another, and every time I do public space look at me, crazy. I'm trying so hard to line those up. I'm so obnoxious. But anytime I do a public space bathroom, I love adding those items from Get to Work, the soap dispenser and the paper towel dispenser, because it's so realistic. The first time I discovered those, it was a game changer, and they went in all of my public bathrooms after that, for the most part. Because like sometimes places, they like, you know, the place where they don't have the automatic soap dispenser, they have like the pump soap, like a regular, like bought it at Walmart 5 days ago kind of soap. Yeah. Some places they're just not high tech enough to have the automatic dispenser. So you got to feel it out. It's situational. But 9 times out of 10, my public space bathrooms will have that. Because I'm just really extra like that about the little details. But isn't that what life is all about? The little details. Working on the roof here. I don't know if I have anything exciting to say about that. Oh, no, I'm doing this little upstairs area. Another thing I'm kind of extra about with my builds. I love making empty rooms feel still used. So, like, this is meant to be like the storage room, or like they converted the warehouse and closed off the second floor because they didn't need it. And so it just has some like weird old things in there that no one ever messes with. And the little roof decoration too, the little vents and stuff. Always got to have those guys, especially in a cafe, because you know they got to vent off those coffee fumes somewhere, right? And I'm so annoying when I build. Sorry. And just add in some cool exterior decor. I was honestly really happy with how this turned out in the Del Sol downtown area. I feel like it visually fit in really well, which is my forever goal when it comes to builds. I always want them to feel like they fit into the world around them, and like you could just walk up, go to this coffee shop, and it just doesn't feel out of place. And working on that outdoor lighting again, adding in some windows, just doing all those final finishing touches that really just make a build feel complete. And this, speaking of the build, it is available for download currently on the gallery. It's actually been up there for like 2 weeks because I just went ahead and uploaded it, so I don't have to go back and do it. But it is on my Origin gallery, Bloom L Sims on the EA gallery for download. Totally vanilla CC free, but it does use items from most of the packs, which I'm going to try and be mindful of in the future just because I know that that's a very privileged thing to be able to use like 15 different packs when you build, and most people don't have that. So I'm going to try and limit it maybe. We'll see. Try my best. Always got to add trees. Ooh, the lights in the trees. See, it's the little things, guys. But I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. The pictures for this build will be at the tail end of this video. And if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more from me. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Thanks, y'all.